My video was muted, but I just will recreate it. This is a list of things we use today that was created to disenfranchise Black people. Starting out strong with insurance. Black people is actually the very first capital to be insured in this country. Next, we can talk about to-go plates. Back when it was no longer legal for for white people to say they don't want Black people in their establishments, it was like, all right, we can give them some plates and they can get the fuck on. Next is credit scores. Because before Black people attempted to get credit in such a large amount, it was just open, willy-nilly, so much so that there was a fucking stock crash. Credit scores were created to make it hard for Black people to secure a home loan. And back in the day, they actually came with a requirement of a reference, which leads us into our next thing. References. References was created back when vagrancy laws prohibited Black people from being unemployed and made them sign labor contracts. In order to have a labor contract and be employed by a white planter, you had to have references from your last, basically owner. Mind you, these were free people, but free was used extremely loosely. Next is invoices. Treadmills. Now, the treadmill was used as a punishment for slaves, and it was actually a machine. They called it the everlasting staircase or something like that. And it was like it churned. I think it was like corn and cotton. Like it processed corn and cotton. But if you look it up, it's basically a large, almost like Stairmaster, if you will. But that's where the treadmill derived from. Next, college tuitions. Next is bar exams and exams alike. Before, you could actually enter any profession if you just went to college and you consider yourself a lawyer. But once Black people started doing it, they had to put some type of other requirement to make it harder for us to get in there. Next is butter pecan ice cream. Picnics. A lot of people don't know, but picnics actually took place on Sundays for a reason. A lot of these picnics took place outside of a Black church or near a Black church. And it wasn't like they would lynch one Black person. They would actually kidnap people throughout the week, send their postcards throughout the week, and people would come from out of town to watch people be lynched en masse. Sometimes up to 12 people would be lynched at once. Next is master bedrooms. And lastly, paramedics. The only reason we have a system that we know today to be paramedics is because Black people had no way to get to the hospital and no hospital to get to because it was prohibited. Hospitals was only used for white people. And there was no ambulance, right? So paramedics, the very first paramedics in the country were Black.